Hey, welcome to the floor work introduction, and we're going to do some moves that you're probably familiar with, but these have made a big difference in how comfortable I am at my house. You will see the dogs come and go. It's just part of my life. This is Gus, and he loves to do the floor work with me. There's a big black dog here, Buddy, that's likely to come over and do some stretches with us. So yeah, it's part of the fun. So we'll run through the exercises that we're going to do here just as part of an introduction and try and keep Gus busy at the same time. So usually when I sit down and just get to a comfortable spot, I'm on a rug here, so it works out pretty well. And first thing I'm going to do is just some kind of bicycle type movements with my legs. So close to the ground, straight out, so that I'm getting a full range of motion into my knees. Had some problems with my knees, and this is a strength thing for lower core. But by staying with my legs close to the ground, I can get full range of motion in these knees without putting much pressure on them. So I'm going to do 25 of these kind of bicycle type things, and I can feel it in the tops of my thighs and across the bottom here. So if you're not quite ready to do 25 of them, don't. Do just a few. So yeah, Gus has got his ball here somewhere. And then the next thing I'm going to do is kind of stretch my lower back. So I'm going to swing my legs over to the side and bring this shoulder back to the floor and stretch. And get a nice stretch along this side. And then move my legs around over to the other side. And same kind of thing, this shoulder to the floor. Kind of hold my knees down with this hand and stretch all of this, stretch it all through my hip and up along this side. And that always feels really good. Yep. So then once I'm done with those, I'm going to throw the ball for the dog. Get that ball. Get that ball, Gus. Yeah. And I'm going to do what they used to call crunches, and not so much crunches anymore, because the physical therapists don't want you cranking on your neck. So when I do these crunches, I'm going to kind of point my chin and my nose to the ceiling and kind of keep it there, rather than using my head for momentum to help me get this crunching motion, and this really helps with my abs. But do that. So just lay with your back on the floor and your knees bent, and I'm going to cross my hands across my chest like this, and then I'm going to lift my shoulders off the floor and point my nose toward the ceiling, and I do 50 of these. At first, for you, 50 might be too many, so don't do that many, but I'll just do this. Full range of motion, pulling this core all the way tight. And yeah, that's what I do for crunches. So I do 50 of those, and then I'm going to roll onto my side and do planks. Everybody hates planks, it seems like, but they really, really do help with these outer and inner muscles that help us put the leg pressure that we need on our horse. And those pressures are hard to get to as for a fitness thing, right? Because it's a weird motion, right? Pushing, in on your horse with your leg, or repositioning your leg back and forth. And that was one of my real weak spots. So this is what I do. So I'm on my elbow, and then I'm going to stay on my knees, and I'm going to pull these jammy pants up so that I don't slide on this rug. But I stay on my knees. What I find is if I put my legs all the way out, it's too much pressure on me. I'm no spring chicken. And I don't want a whole bunch of pressure on my knees and my back. But I want some, enough to, really help. So I'm going to come up like this into my plank shape and throw the ball for my dog. And this big shirt isn't going to help much to see the shape, but I'm going to try and keep a straight line here. I'm going to put out one leg, and then I'm going to lift that leg. Helps the dog's not there. So not way up, but above, parallel with my hips. And I'm going to do this 20 times. Like this. So this is really working this hip and the outside of this hip. and then I just roll over and do the other side 20 times. But that is a really good core exercise. Outsides, outside of this hip, and then I'm going to roll over and do the same ones on the other side. So I'm going to sit up and scoot back a little bit so you can see me. Put my feet far apart like this, and I'm going to stretch to the floor. This is good for my back, for my sides. I'm going to kind of twist my body so that I can get all these long muscles in my back stretched out, and even up into my arms. So I'm going to reach for the opposite foot, grab that foot, and twist my body so that I'm stretching all of this out along this side, leaning forward, so I'm pulling the back of this hamstring as well. And then I'm going to head for the other foot, and same kind of thing. So yep, same kind of thing. Tilt my body, make sure all of this is stretching, as well as the hamstring here. And yeah, the dog gets a pretty good workout too. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to stretch straight down to the floor to help with stretching my back and some more for hamstrings. So I just kind of grab both of these ankles and pull down. You just pretty good catch. Pull down, yeah, both of backs of both thighs. Really get a good stretch this way. Yep. And then if I'm still kind of tight, I'll go back to the side a little bit. And back to the side a little bit. And then I'm going to put both feet together on the ground like this. And at first you might not be able to pull your feet out very far. So if you have to have your feet out a ways, you know, that's fine, good place to start. I'm going to pull mine in quite a ways here. And first I'm just going to grab onto my ankles, and I'm going to sit up really straight and just kind of pull my shoulders a little bit. I can feel my shoulder blades kind of pull down on my spine, and that's where my back gets real tired from the office work that I do. So just kind of lean my head back and pull a little bit. That always feels good. And then I'm going to do kind of a gentle twist. So right hand, left ankle, and left hand kind of on the floor behind me, and I'm going to twist with my neck. So my feet are pushing against each other and stretching this muscle right here that gets real tight when I ride, this inside muscle. So yep, right hand, left ankle, left hand behind me, and I'm going to twist, and like I'm trying to look behind me, and this foot is pressing against this foot as I twist. Yeah, I'm stretching this long muscle here, that especially when I get started in the spring, it gets kind of sore. And then I'm going to do the other way. So left hand, right ankle, and right hand behind me. And then I'm going to stretch like I'm trying to look all the way behind me. And again, feet pressing against each other. Good stretch. And if I kind of point my shoulder out, I can stretch down the back here too. And oh yeah, that feels good. That feels good. Then we're going to do a stretch to get the tops of these thighs. Just going to put one foot out to the side and bend this knee down. Get this stretch. Again, you might not be able to put your knee all the way down, but if you can get it part of the way and get this stretch across the top, it's a good one. This, for me, will stretch clear up into here. Just a little bit of time on both sides. One right back down, In the down position, this leg is straight out from the rest of my body. What are you doing, Gus? I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, ankle out to the side, and then the knee will come down. Give that a good stretch. Yes, normally I'd do this with the other leg bent, but then you can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, foot and ankle out to the side, drop that knee, and then in, and we'll do the other side. And my dog's desperately wanting me to throw this ball. There we go. Here, Gus, over here. Here, buddy. There you go. And for me, I get a lot more pull on one side than on the other. Okay, so this next one, a million years ago when I was in track in high school, they called this one scissor stretch. So just start with both feet out in front of you, and an overly friendly dog. You good boy, you good boy. And we're gonna put right foot over here by left knee, like this, and dog out of the way so you can see. And I'm gonna put left arm over like this, and I'm going to stretch. It's kind of a twisting stretch, so if you've had a back injury, be careful with this one. You know, don't overdo it, but it does feel really good. So this is going to stretch the outside of my thigh up through my back and into my shoulders. So again, almost kind of try and look behind me. So yeah, left elbow by right knee, right arm behind me. A good stretch that way. And then we're going to reverse it. So left foot by right knee, right elbow at left knee, and I'm going to look behind me. Stretch. I'm putting some pressure. Where's your ball? Putting some pressure on my knee with my elbow. Yep. And then as I stretch around like this, I can really feel it pull up through this glute. I have a glute on one side that just it's a piriformis muscle that it just clenches up and gives me some sciatic pain. So this one's a really good one. But again, don't overdo this one. This twisting motion can be bad for you. But yeah, this stretches that long loin muscle in my back. So yeah, I'll do a couple of these. Look around behind me. Again, right elbow, left knee. Good twist. Yeah, so that's scissor stretch. Okay, up on all fours. Try and make a nice square figure here. And we're going to lift one leg. Yeah, you're a good boy. Nine, 10. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is Gus's favorite part. Yes, this is Gus's favorite part. Good dog. And then the other leg. There's 10. 19, 20. Yeah, and again with those two. Do as many as you're comfortable with. Oh, that was tricky. Good job, guys. Okay, now we're going to transition to Gus's favorite part. I think he looks forward to this part every day. Some days our other dog that's laying by the door over here will even come over and get in on this part of it. So my apologies if they block the camera, but it's part of my workout. It's part of me spending time with my dogs. So yeah, this is Gus's favorite part. So we're going to transition from this position to stretch. We're going to roll over and stick my butt up in the air. So my apologies. But it's a lot like the downward dog stretch that yoga does. And it seems to be one of the favorite stretches for the dogs, and sometimes they'll even come stretch with me. So let's just transition over onto all fours first. And, you know, feet, toes on the floor, stretch those feet out by pulling those toes back. That always feels good. Yep, and here comes Gus. He knows what's coming. He loves this part. Then I'm just going to go up like this, and I'm going to alternate from one leg to the next, stretching out my calf. So one knee bent and then the other, and I'm really going to stretch that calf and the bottom of my foot. Give that arch a good stretch. Yes, are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Yeah. Gus likes to get a good snuggle in through this. You're a good boy. And then I'm going to walk my legs up closer to my feet and put my feet flat on the floor and put my head between my elbows and get a face wash. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes, you're a sweetheart. So my head, my ears between my shoulders. I'm going to walk my arms back and put my hands on the ground. Yes, you're a good boy. Are you a good boy? Yes, you're a good dog. You're a good dog. And stretch all of this. All of this here. So you might not be this limber to start with, but you can work into it. And then one at a time, I'm going to put my hands on my knees and push myself up out of this position so I'm not dragging on my back when I do it. Yeah, you good boy. You good boy. And up I go. Okay, so we transitioned up off the floor out of the downward dog stretch. And now we're going to do a couple of standing stretches. And for this, you'll want something to hold on to. So we got the edge on the TV stand here that I'm going to use. But this first stretch, I'm going to stretch out the top of my thigh and then this long muscle that connects down here and travels all the way up along here, one of the major suspension muscles in the front part of my body. And I don't know what this is called, but I'm going to stand to the side and hold on to this this large piece of furniture here, and then I'm going to step behind me with on my toes, and first thing I'm going to do is push my heel down and stretch the back part of my calf by moving forward with my heel on the floor. And at first you might not be able to really do that. You might need to keep your heel up a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to stretch all the way down and keep this front knee bent. And now I'm going to arch my back and I'm going to look back. And again, if you've had some kind of injury that makes this a bad idea for you, modify it for yourself. Don't do anything that's going to hurt. You know your body. But for my body, I'm going to steady myself here, right hand on right thigh, and I'm going to lift my head back and stretch and look over my shoulder towards you just a little bit. So this is pulling clear from my knee all the way up through my pelvis, up here all the way up the side of my neck. So again, if you've had an injury that makes this a bad idea for you, don't do it. And depending on the day, I'll do a couple of those on that side, and then I'll turn over. And same thing on the other side. So we're going to take a step back on the toes, lower the toes all the way to the floor, bend forward a little bit, get that calf to stretch. Oh, that feels good. And then, supported by my large piece of furniture here, I'm going to look a little bit over this shoulder, and I'm going to arch my back a little bit, bend this knee, right hand, right thigh, and stretch. And again, calf stretching, front of thigh, through the front part of my torso here, all the way up into my neck. If I lift my chin, I can even get it to stretch clear into my chin. Like that, and stand up and rest for a bit. Stand up straight, right ankle above left knee, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a squat with this. Squat down according to how comfortable my knee is, and then I'm going to press this folded knee toward the floor and lean forward with my chest a bit. And I can really feel those glute muscles, including that piriformis, start to stretch. Oh yeah, yep, that's it. So I'll show you again. So I'm going to bend my right knee, put my right ankle above my left knee, and then do a squat on this one leg. And again, be careful, listen to your body when you're doing this. So right knee is going to go toward the floor, and that's where the stretch comes from, is as the right knee travels toward the floor. You can really feel that stretch. And then I'll repeat it on the other side. So left ankle above right knee. And if you want to hold it with your hands, you're certainly welcome to. But this is the side that causes me the trouble, is on the left side. So I stretch this one a little bit differently, but the basics are the same. And again, kind of bend this knee, get into a little bit of a squat position here, chest comes forward. And on this side, in this position already, I can really feel it pulling here. So I'll deepen my bend, this knee toward the floor. I'm not going to push on it. I'm just going to use the strength of my leg to push that down at first, and then just light pressure there, very light pressure to get that pull in here, there, that piriformis muscle where it joins on, right here. You can really feel that. And then back up. Yeah, so again, left ankle to right knee, make that figure 4, and then bend down. Not pressing, just kind of resting my hand here, and then a gentle press down. Yeah, so that's the figure 4. So there we have it. That's the introduction to the workout. I hope that this is helpful to you. There'll be a series of videos released that'll give you a pretty good idea of how I put the workout together. And I hope you enjoy them and they help you ride more comfortably, especially in the spring when maybe you haven't been riding so much in the wintertime. But I do this year round. And I also walk a lot. As you've seen in the videos with my dogs, I'll get at least a mile every day of just regular walking over uneven ground done with my dogs, throwing the frisbee, and of course, horse owner, so I have plenty of chores to do that add to this for me. But this has really worked for me. It's helped me through surviving some of these injuries and being able to continue to ride comfortably. And I hope it does that for you too. So if you'd like to see more videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel. My number of subscribers gives me an idea of if I should do more videos or not. So I really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the Iowa Trailrider Great Oak Leather channel.
Let me know that you support me and you want to see more videos. It's also important to like the videos, so give it the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So again, this is introduction, but you can find on this channel some of the daily workouts, some at a slower speed and some at a higher speed with more repetitions.